Good evening and welcome to the National Venturing and Sea Scout reception for the 2018 National Annual Meetings. We have a great program for you tonight, and we're so glad that all of you could join us both here in person and through our Facebook live stream. And we're going to get started with our program. I am Kathy Seabauer, your National Venturing Vice President for the 2017-2018 term, and joining me here is Miss Mercedes Matlock, who is your 2017-2018 National Sea Scout Bosun.
I'll be doing the invocation, so can you all please prepare yourself in the manner that you're accustomed. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless everyone who's arrived today and make sure that they travel home safely, and that the leaders here have completed their plans as they wished, and that those staying in the next position carry out their orders properly and have much success in their positions. Thank you.
So sort of how our program is going to run this evening, we're going to go through a lot of the venturing parts of the program, and then we're going to turn it over to the Sea Scouts for the second half for their parts of the program. So, to begin, like I said, I'm part of the National Venturing Officers Association. I currently serve as the Vice President, and we wanted to start out by giving you a report of what venturing has been up to this past year. This has been a great year for the venturing program. As many of you may know, this is the 20th anniversary of venturing. The program was founded in 1998, and this year in 2018, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary, and we're very excited about all the ways that we've been able to look back at the past and celebrate our history, but at the same time, look to the future and how we can improve the program. To begin our celebrations, we asked the nation to share their venturing stories with us and share how venturing has impacted the lives of youth and adults across the nation. So we collected almost 100 stories from youth across the nation and chose 20 to highlight throughout the past couple weeks on our social media and recognize the amazing things that venturing has done for them. We published these on our Facebook page, and you can go and check out the ways that venturing has impacted their lives. Other things this year, responding from comments by the field, we look to improve our training programs by constantly improving the ones that we already have published and releasing new ones, such as an updated project management training and updating our venturing training toolbox. Many of you joined us this summer at the Foxtrot Base Camp at the National Jamboree and other, yes, Jamboree, but also other settings where we took feedback from the field, asking your thoughts on the venturing program, answering questions you have, and really taking your thoughts and ideas back to the National Venturing Committee. So we held town halls and listening sessions at many events, including Foxtrot at the Jamboree, Winterfest, and other area events held across the nation. Speaking of Jamboree, over 5,000 venturers across the nation joined us at Foxtrot Base Camp. We're so excited for the largest venturing presence we've had so far, and we're hoping many of you choose to join us next summer at the 2019 World Scout Jamboree back at the summit. This past year, we also held other national venturing events, including Venturing Blast at the Philmont Training Center, a specific training course to educate both youth and adults who are interested in learning more about the venturing program at a higher level. So we discussed VOAs at the council, area, region, and national level. So it's something for those who want to get more involved in venturing. And if that sounds interesting, we're also holding a course this summer at the Philmont Training Center of the same theme. Other initiatives that you joined us for this year were online venturing office hours. That was another chance for you to join us and basically ask any questions you had about the program, whether it was policy questions, maybe wordings on different awards, or if it was more general feedback, like you wanted to ask others across the nation how they recruited new members, or how they worked the awards program into their unit. So it was a great opportunity for you to ask questions to both the national officers and the national committee and officers and advisors across the nation. Other things we did this year, and we're looking forward to doing, is planning for Venturing Fest, which if you have not heard about it, we have plenty of stickers who will tell you more about it. But it is this summer at the Summit Bechtel Reserve. We're very, very excited to celebrate the 20th anniversary of venturing with the biggest birthday party ever at the summit. We're hoping to have several thousand of you out there. We're very, very excited to experience all the things that the summit has to offer, and at the same time integrate some venturing-specific program. So I believe at this point we are going to call up a couple other people. I'd like to call up Mr. Christopher Zarofsky. Where is he at? Outside the room? Oh, he'll come in just a second. But he is our National Venturing Vice Chair, and he is also the NVOA advisor. And we're going to, Chris, if you could come forward actually. And I'd also like like to invite up Mr. Owen McCulloch, who is our National Venturing Staff Advisor and our National Venturing Director. So please join me in welcoming them. So we're going to begin by thanking some of our outgoing officers and advisors, and then next we'll welcome some of our incoming people. So, as I said, I'm currently your National Venturing Vice President, but more importantly, our boots on the ground people are our Regional Venturing Presidents. So I'd like to recognize each of them, starting with Savannah McMillan from the Southern Region. If you could come forward. We have a special gift for you to thank you for all the work you've done this year. Next, we have Miss Ripley Price from the Northeast Region. Next, we have Mr. Dominic Walters from the Central Region. And unfortunately, due to other commitments, Michelle Merritt, our National Venturing President, and Jessica Kent, our Western Region President, were unable to join us this week, but we'd like to thank them for their service as well.
So I'm going to barge in on her script for a second, and we must recognize our National Vice President, Miss Kathy Seba. We also have some amazing adults, people that help us, support these youth from the background, far. If you would just wave your hand and stand up if you can. We'd like to thank Mr. Jeff Geralds, Robbie DiBaggio, David Wilson, Jen Hancock, Caitlin Adams, Chris Mosshart, Katie Schneider, Soham Patel, Lydia Bora, Ken Bauer, Steve Smith, Keith Gelhausen, Ken King, Jacqueline Core, Nathan Williams, Dan Caribou, Jillian Infusino, Scott McKenzie, Aaron Stockwell, Emily Mosshart, Elwin Spray, Charlie Wooster, Nate Steele, Andrew Miller, Eric Saderholm, Pratik Vaithya, Christine Lutzka, Chuck Walnick, Larry Call, Jim Virgin, and Sarah Mitrucker. Please let's give them a round of applause. We also have a pretty exciting party next summer at the Summit, and there's some really important people we'd like to thank. First, Jen Hancock, our chair for Venturing Fest, and her team leads Marcelo Hahn, Rick Kagawa, Jim Lynch, Jim Rice, Bill Daggett, Dottie Brown, Russell Smart, and Jacqueline Core. Please let's give them a round of applause. And our one final recognition for the unsung hero that often goes unnoticed, but our wonderful professional, Mr. Owen McCulloch.
And before you run away, if you would come back up here, actually. So another couple of people, like I mentioned, we have terms in venturing. So we go from June 1st to June 1st for the youth. So we recognize all of, back there. We've recognized all of our youth that are going to be leaving us, sadly, at the end of this month. But we also have a couple other people that we'd like to thank for their time and their service in venturing. And Christopher Zarowski is one of those people. He currently serves as our National Venturing Committee Vice Chair, as well as our National VOA Advisor. And he's served in this position for, I don't even know how many years, the past couple years, and he's gone through a lot to grow the venturing program and really give back and support the youth. And we are incredibly appreciative of everything he has done. And we'd like to thank you for your time in venturing and your service and your continued service to come. Sorry. Other people we'd like to recognize, I don't believe, is Jack here? Okay, but as I mentioned, Chris is on his last couple of days in the office, but we'd like to welcome our incoming person. So currently, I believe in this room, we have Miss Jennifer Hancock, who is going to be our incoming National Venturing Committee Chair. So we'd like to welcome her. David Wilson, you wave your hands, way in the back. He's going to be our new National VOA Advisor. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Andrew Miller up to the front with me, if he's here. Perfect. Andrew Miller is on our National Venturing Committee, and he manages much of the pilots kind of sides of things, but he also does some more administrative tasks. And one of those things he covers is CSVE, which is Council Standards of Venturing Excellence. And I'd like to turn it over to him to recognize some amazing councils.
Thanks, Kathy. The Council Standards of Venturing Excellence is similar to Scouting's Journey to Excellence. And for what it's worth, this year we're actually renaming it so that within Journey to Excellence we will have a Council Venturing Scorecard. The updated requirements are on the venturing.org website. We hope to have them on the official scouting.org/JTE site soon. It's the VSA's Planning, Performance, and Recognition Program designed to encourage and reward the success of our units, districts, and councils. It is meant to help councils plan and to encourage excellence in providing a quality program at all levels of the VSA. The council-level venturing version of this award is presented by the VSA National Council to councils that complete the requirements during the previous calendar year. This year, we had a record number of CSVE submissions, and I would personally like to thank Kathy Seebauer and all of the regional presidents and officers and area officers for their hard work in ensuring record turnout for the CSVE form. It is much appreciated and I think shows a lot of enthusiasm behind venturing. We had 85%, in fact, of councils submit this form, which is just incredible. We'd like to briefly recognize the councils who achieved the highest level of CSVE recognition, which is CSVE Gold. Nationwide, only 4 councils were able to achieve such a feat. We'd like to take this opportunity to recognize them. If folks are here from that council, it would be wonderful if you could stand to be recognized. The Blue Ridge Mountains Council. The North Florida Council. I should say, since we have such a large crowd in the back, if you're in the back and you're from one of those councils, we can notice you if you sit. I'm just kidding. The Shenandoah Council and the Patriots Path Council. Excellent. Thank you to all for your help with this, and congratulations again to the recognees.
Thank you, Andrew. And if you'd like to be one of those councils next year, we'd love to see even more councils earning gold. So you can go to our website and see the form and start working on those requirements now. We'd love to have even more, hopefully all of our councils earn gold at some point. So the next part of our program is a very special part. We'd like to recognize those who have gone above and beyond in their contributions to the venturing program and the ways that they've given back at a national level. The National Venturing Leadership Award is given to those, both youth and adults, who have gone above and beyond the call of duty and done exceptional contributions to the venturing program at the respective level. This award is given out at the council, area, region, and national level, but today we'd like to recognize those who received the national level award. The very first person I'd like to call up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, but I'd like to call her up first. We'll start with Miss Lydia Bora. Lydia is from Orlando, Florida. She served as the 2016-2017 Southern Region Venturing President. During that time, her innovation led to much growth in the region. She created new committees and new ideas to bring innovation to the region projects. Outside of just the Southern Region, Lydia was a leader during the very first Venturing Blast course at Philmont Training Center. And we'd like to thank her for her service. Next, we have Miss Ripley Price. She can make her way to the front. Ripley is from Blandon, Pennsylvania, and her work this past year as the Northeast Region President led her to work with a team of youth to develop a new long-term strategic plan to develop and strengthen the region's venturing program. In addition to this, she worked diligently to modernize all aspects of the region's operations, from communications to updating the region's merchandise. Ripley's team of officers recorded the highest CSBE submission rate ever, with almost 95% of Northeast Region councils submitting a form this year. Also, after the hurricanes in Puerto Rico, she pioneered a fundraiser that raised several $1,000s to help support those that are affected and bring them to Venturing Fest so they have a chance to experience the summit even though they might be in a tough financial situation. Her passion and work ethic have made a significant impact this year, and we thank her for her service. Next, we have Mr. Dominic Walters. Dominic is from St. Paul, Minnesota. His diligence and commitment to excellence this past year has made an immeasurable impact on ventures in the Central Region and beyond as he served as the Central Region Venturing President. He came up with several creative ways to connect with youth throughout the region, such as revitalizing the region's Twitter page and posting daily memes and other forms of inspiration. Dominic has also been a venturing training guru this past year and has helped rewrite several national trainings, including personal safety awareness, project management, and growing a venturing program at the Philmont Training Center. The impact he has had on the program has been immeasurable, and we thank him for his service. The last youth we'd like to recognize is Savannah McMillan. Savannah is from Knoxville, Tennessee, and she served as the 2017-2018 Southern Region Venturing President. In this role, she managed 9 areas, working with both youth and adults to ensure a successful year in the region and work towards potential future growth. Savannah worked with her VPs to increase the submission rate of Council Standards of Venturing Excellence, and she has also served in several other roles in Scouting, including the National STEM Committee. Her dedication to Scouting is clear, and we are grateful for her time in the program. Next, I'd like to bring Chris Zarowski up to recognize the adults who are receiving the NVLA.
All right, first up, we have a man who serves as the Northeast Region Advisor and Chair, Mr. Robbie DiBaggio from Severna Park, Maryland. Robbie's role as Region Advisor has helped to redefine venturing within the Northeast region. His leadership has been integral in developing and maintaining relationships between area and region venturing advisors in the Northeast. Robbie is an excellent example of what venturing epitomizes, and his work is always of impeccable quality. Everything he works on has meaning and is forward-focused. He also serves as the National Venturing Training Chair and has been a relentless advocate for the program. Once again, let's congratulate Robbie. We're actually going to take one small pause in the action.
No pause. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Obviously, our National Commissioner will be joining us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next up, we have a man from Madison Heights, Michigan. He serves as our Central Region Venturing Advisor and Chair, Mr. Jeff Geralds. Jeff has worn many hats in the venturing program, and the least not, as well as his spots on the National Venturing Committee and serving as an advisor in the Central Region. His tireless passion for seeing youth succeed and grow as leaders has made him an effective mentor and guide to area presidents, region presidents, advisors, and many others as the program has changed and grown. He is a strong advocate for venturing in the scouting world, staffing numerous jamborees and sharing his passion for venturing with all. He is an ambassador for the program and truly lives out the responsibility of an advisor to inspire and support all youth in our program. Once again, Jeff Geralds. We have a very special lady from Lubbock, Texas, Miss Jennifer Hancock. Jennifer Jennifer has served on countless roles to support the venturing program, including the Southern Region Venturing Chair and Venturing's International Relations Liaison. She has also represented venturing well through her work as countless venturing events, including the Foxtrot Base Camp lead at the 2017 National Jamboree, the Venturing Fest 2018 chair, aide de camp for the 2019 World Scout Jamboree, and numerous other prominent roles in the scouting community. Her dedication to the world of scouting has been obvious, and we appreciate all the time and work she has given to our program. Once again, Miss Jennifer Hank. Our final recipient this year from Argyle, Texas, our very own chair, Mr. Jack First. As a youth, Jack participated in the Cub Scout and Boy Scout programs. He is Eagle Scout and a past president of Circle 10 Council. Jack is certainly most known for his work building, developing, and leading the efforts behind the Summit Bechtel Reserve. In fact, everyone has to travel on a road named after him to get there. For the past several years, Jack has served as the chair of the National Venturing Committee, helping to provide his visionary leadership of our life-changing program. Jack can always be seen wearing a green shirt and supporting venturing everywhere he goes. We are very excited to present to him the National Venturing Leadership Award, Mr. Jack First. And if I may ask and introduce formally for the first time, the 2018 National Venturing Leadership Award class. Please join me in congratulating them. So we have one additional wonderful present to honor our chair for his tireless work. As Kathy was talking earlier, we have a few members that are cycling out. And Jack, although he was awarded with the National Venturing Leadership Award this year, we wanted to do something above and beyond. A very good friend of venturing and to Jack, Russell Smart, donated a private print he had, an original print of a Norman Rockwell scouting print. Owen's modeling it here for us today. Now, if that wasn't special enough, there's some amazing people that helped make his vision happen. And so we all signed it on the very back. So we'd like to present this on behalf of the entire National Venturing Committee to Jack First.
Good mic. Is Russell here? Oh, anyway. I'm humbled. Thank you all very much. Venturing Green is strong and fixing to get stronger. We got Venture Fest coming up this summer. And we've got a family program that we're now initiating here at the Boy Scouts of America. So the BSA finally caught up with us at venturing. And so it is going to be good news for us moving forward, and I want to thank everybody in the room, because one of the things that's been humbling with this group is the tenacity and the persistence that each of you have for making the Venturing Green work in a movement that wasn't quite sure what to do with Venturing Green, and now they're coming to you because they know exactly what to do with Venturing Green. And I couldn't be more excited. So if you all get a chance, come to the summit this summer for Venture Fest. And I'm looking for, Jennifer's going to do a great job She's going to be much better than I was. I didn't get anything done. We did get into the OA, guys. We got into the OA. But anyway, I'm so excited. I like wearing Venturing Green. I'll be wearing it the remainder of my time as a scout. You guys are in my heart. I really appreciate all of the bling. And thank you all very much. Go Venturing Green.
We have another very, very special guest with us today. As Chris mentioned earlier, we have Mr. Charles Dahlquist, who is our National Commissioner of the Boy Scouts of America.
You know, I'm so glad to be here. Jack, let me just tell you something. If you want to be inspired, put that in a place where you see it every day. But if you feel really low and you want to feel loved, take it off the wall and look at the back. Okay? That's what's really great. I am glad to be here as part of the Venturing and the Sea Scout reception. This is a great time, and it's a great partnership. And I just wish I would have had a little forethought to wear my whites this part. And I might do that sometime, Charlie, if you give me a chance. But you know, I can't tell you how much of my heart is with this age group of scouts. You need to know that you are working with youth that just because of their age need venturing and need Sea Scouts in unbelievable ways. Let me just tell you, a young man that went in actually to a scout troop, but he was Sea Scout age and venturing age. And he was part of a juvenile diversion unit. And these kids have all had trouble. I shared this with the National Executive Board just a few minutes ago, but they all had trouble with the law. 9 out of 10 of them had no previous experience with scouting. So the senior patrol leader got to all of the group, brought them in a circle, and said, "Tell me what scouting what kind of an impact it's had in your life." This is what this young man said. "I've been saving my money for quite some time to buy fireworks. While walking to the store to buy the fireworks, I saw a woman with a couple of children, and they looked like they didn't have much by their appearance. I went into the store to buy the fireworks, but instead I bought a couple of bags of groceries. I walked out, and I quickly gave her the groceries and walked away quickly. While walking away, I could hear her sobbing. I wanted to go back and talk with her, but I was too scared and just kept walking. This is what I did to help others and to do a good turn." That's what we do, and that's what you do. And you take individuals that need this program, some of them who think that they're past scouting because scouting is khaki and scouting is doing what scouts do, which is a great thing. And especially with you guys from the Order of the Arrow back there that are also my heroes. But let me just tell you how proud I am. I'm so grateful to have been able to serve as your National Commissioner. You have wonderful advisors, wonderful youth leaders who just make me feel good. So thank you for all you do, and go venturing, go Sea Scouts. Thank you.
As Charles mentioned, hopefully you all saw recently online, we did make a very special announcement with the Order of the Arrow. I don't know if anyone saw that, maybe? Yeah. But you can learn more online with some FAQs, but starting, I believe, February of next year, February 1st is next year, Sea Scout ships and venturing crews will be able to hold unit elections for the Order of the Arrow. So that's going to be very exciting. But the final part of the venturing program that we have this evening before we turn it over to the Sea Scouts is the induction of our National Venturing President for next year. So I'd like to invite Mr. Dominic Walters to join me up in front. As mentioned earlier, Dominic currently serves as a Central Region Venturing President, and we're very excited to have him leading venturing for this 20th anniversary year. So, Dominic, if you could raise your hand in the Scout sign and repeat after me. I, Dominic Walters,
I, Dominic Walters,
do hereby promise,
on my honor as a Scout,
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of National Venturing President,
the office of National Venturing President,
and I will use the Scout Oath and Law
and I will use the Scout Oath and Law
to guide me
to guide me
as I lead the adventure, serving the venturing program, the Boy Scouts of America, and the World Fellowship of Scouting.
and the World Fellowship of Scouting.
2. Congratulations. And Dominic, if you want to help me, we have one last special thing that might be a little bit off program. I'd also like to invite Mr. Robbie DiBaggio up to the front to help me out with this part. You can come up if you would like. Oh man, the whole brigade. So, as we mentioned earlier, or would you like to recognize him? I already.
I think there's a few recognitions.
Yes,
So
please do.
Chris Surowski has been a scout most of his life and was an explorer before we had venturing, and was at that crux of the point 20 years ago when venturing was born. He was one of our first national officers and has served as an adult advisor all during that time as well. Scouting is more than an hour a week. We all know that. And for the roles that Chris has taken on as vice chair for the Venturing Committee and as our national advisor for the National Venturing Officers Association, it's been a lot more than an hour a week. But there's one night of the week that he has always kept to himself. And I didn't realize that until I came into the role after Jamboree, and we're working at our schedules, what nights we can meet. I've got troop meetings on Mondays, I've got a crew meeting on Thursdays. For Chris, every Wednesday is league night. And everybody's got to have a passion, and his passion is not only venturing, but the league as well. And a little keepsake for you. We'd like to wish him well in his next league adventure. And I said he's leading the adventure. leading the adventure. And we look forward to his continued role in venturing. And Chris, on behalf of all of us, thank you very much.
here's the last 300.
So, you know, Chris, as the national VOA advisor, you've been a mentor to not only the youth but the regional advisors as well. And we were looking through your extensive resume, which is pages long, and we've tried to find out something to award you with as a token of our appreciation. So we were going through leadership, like what award could we give Chris that he doesn't already have for leadership? And it came up a little challenging. And then we started thinking back. And where did this character development and this leadership spiral from? And we realized that it's because you're an Eagle Scout. And so all the advisors came together and we're like, how can we recognize an Eagle Scout for all of his hard work? So on behalf of the region advisors, the National Committee, and the National Eagle Scout Association, we'd like to award you with the NOESA, which is the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award, for all of your hard work and dedication to the venturing program and the scouting and the community and everything that you have done and you will do. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris.
And I believe that concludes the venturing portion of this evening, and I'd like to turn it over to our lovely Sea Scouts.
Well, good evening. Thank you. Congratulations, Chris, and all the other venturers who have been a part of that. Share with you a few operations within the Sea Scout program. Mercedes has served as our national bosun this past year. We also go from June to the end of May, so we will do change of watch in a few moments. We want to start, though, with our national flagship. We honor at least one ship throughout the country that's kind of the best of the year this past year. It so happens that they're from Texas this year, so they're available to be here. Sometimes they're not available to be here because they can't afford to come here, and we prefer them to be recognized where they can afford to be. We'd rather take that money that would cost to travel here and go do a trip somewhere. But they were able to drive here today, and so if I can have Natalie Kozik, the bus's mate, Karen Stone, the skipper, and the 4 crew leaders come forward, we'd like to make a special presentation to you. And Mercedes, if you could help me, but at first, TW, if you will come forward. TW is the Southern Region Commodore who works very closely with this ship and the many ships throughout the Southern region. I'm going to let them share a little bit about their program. I think you'll be impressed with what they've accomplished this past year.
Over the last year, we've made some changes in the National Flagship Program to really make the emphasis on telling the youth from the story from the perspective of the youth. And when I saw the presentation that these girls had put together, I knew they'd completely nailed it because they got that. It really was their story. This ship is the Sea Scout ship Unique. It's the most appropriately named ship I'm aware of. I've watched them as they've grown over the last several years, and as they've developed their first quartermaster in the history of their council. It's an all-girl ship. There are a lot of how many? 29. It's pretty large for a Sea Scout ship. They've been really successful. They've done a variety of great things, from paddlecraft to small boat sailing to large boat sailing, and pretty much everything that's in the Sea Scout program. There are a lot of really great accomplishments coming up. I'm looking forward to a number of new quartermasters out of this ship over the next few years. Your next game. Anyway, they've got a great program, and it's really exciting to see them recognized in this way. I can't think of a better ship to represent Sea Scouts to the rest of the world.
We present to you Ship Unique, Ship 1 Unique.
I would just like to say that it's not me personally who is accepting this award. It's us together as a ship. We are a family. We're all sisters. And we have grown tremendously in the past couple of years, and we've all learned so much, and we love traveling together, and we just have fun together, and we just love the experience, and we thank all the adults together. Mama Stone and all our moms, and especially Judge Jeff Duran.
Will Ship 1 members stand up?
Scoot in real tight. Listen to him. Scoot in real tight. You gotta see it with both eyes. Here we go. Okay, everyone right here, please. Primary. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Big smiles. Hey, can I get a thumbs up? There we go. Thank you.
Congratulations, ladies. You have a great program. We're excited for you. And, you can apply for it again another year. You don't have to wait. But it seems like the last 3 years, it's been a series of ones. 2 years ago, it was Ship 100 from California. Last year, it was Ship 100 from Maryland. And this year is Ship 1. So somewhere out there, we've got to change that cycle, or something with the number 1 in your number. But anyway. And we also invite, we love to take venture crews on sailing trips, so always feel welcome. Whether it's in, on, around, and under the water, we are developing resources to help you get in all those places. We now have relationships with all 4 scuba diving organizations to help organize ships with scuba dive shops, and we have relationships to buy equipment at very reasonable prices. And so we invite our venturing friends and our Boy Scout friends to be a part of that program as well. We now have contacts. We're buying kayaks and canoes at very reasonable prices and stand-up paddle boards. So we've got a lot of great things happening. And you can get on the water. You don't have to have a big sailboat or a big powerboat to do that. Canoes, kayaks, scuba dive, all that stuff works for us. So now we want to recognize, Mercedes will help me recognize some individuals who have been very instrumental in developing the Sea Scout program this past year. Our first recipient is a man who has been very instrumental in helping create some changes in our training programs, providing leadership for youth. He's expanded and helped us expand the program on a national level. And so we appreciate what T.W. Cook, the Southern Regional Commodore, has done for the national program, not only the regional program. So T.W., thank you for your leadership. Our second individual tonight is a man who has been very instrumental in the Sea Scout program for the last 10 or 12 years. I had the honor to take over the Sea Scout program in 2008, and he took over the Sea Scouts in 2008. He was already on the National Committee, and so I took my prerogative to provide him this leadership award. Mr. Charlie Worcester, our National Commodore. And most importantly, we say the best for last. Mercedes Matlock is a leader among leaders. She's a great lady. She's a great Sea Scout leader. She has guided us this past year in helping to recreate some tremendous social media, some resources that have provided ships around the country to be able to connect with Sea Scouts. She's been instrumental to carry forward with this. She's engaged our regional leadership and other youth around the country to help create resources to help expand the Sea Scout program. So Mercedes, on behalf of the National Committee, we want to thank you for your leadership and present you with the National Sea Scout Leadership Award. This is your 2018 National Sea Scout Leadership Award class. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, when Independence Day is considered February the 10th, 2016 for the Sea Scouts, that doesn't mean we don't like venturing. We're just now equal and amongst friends. And April and I were talking earlier, so why are the Sea Scouts and venturing still having a reception together? Aren't they separate programs? Yes, but we love each other. We're friends. We do things together. You take us on your mountaintop trips. We take you on our sailing trips. And so why don't we work together? We even invite our OA guys to be a part of that. And so it's all about young people. It's all about leadership. It's also all about having fun together. And so thank you all for what you've been able to do to help us do that. We now want to give you a special, if you haven't been here before, we have a special treat. We're going to do 2 changes of watch. We will have our change of watch. Charlie will lead our change of watch for our youth leadership. And then for the first time in 10 years, we will have a leadership of our directorship. So, Charlie?
So by way of introduction of the ceremony, on board a ship, whether it's a merchant ship or a military ship like the Navy or the Coast Guard, whenever the watch changes, every 4 hours, night and day, the oncoming watch prepares to carry out their duties by checking the weather, seeking out the aids to navigation that are visible, checking the chart, in all manner being prepared to relieve the watch and carry out the next 4 hours of duty, keeping the rest of their sleeping shipmates safe. So we replicate that change of watch from the shipboard environment here ashore, and we'll have Mercedes Matlock will be relieved today by Jack Otto as the oncoming National Bosun. And just by the way, Mercedes, in keeping with our tradition, will continue to serve on the National Sea Scout Committee for the following year. So we always have 2 youth to advise us on the National Committee. So I'd like to call you both forward, and you'll see that the ceremony's short and brief, but it represents that transfer of authority.
Commodore, requesting permission to assume the watch as National Sea Scout Bosun.
Very well, assume the watch.
Mercedes, I relieve you.
I stand relieved. Commodore, I stand relieved.
Commodore, I assume the watch.
Very well, carry out your duties. Congratulations.
Say something. Give him a moment.
All right, guys, I think this is going to be a really good year for Sea Scouts. We're on an upward trend. I think we'll do a really good job, and we'll get some things going.
Now, this is the 3rd opportunity that some of us in the room have had to recognize Keith on the occasion of his retirement. And his wife Janice is here taking a video of everything, just like she was at the other 2 events. So it's all going to be recorded for posterity. And I should mention that on Tuesday, after we had our National Sea Scout Committee meeting, we all adjourned to lunch, and we had a little bit of fun there, thanking Keith, and maybe a little bit of fun at his expense with a few roasts and that kind of thing. And we also presented him with a very nice memento of his time in service with us, which I thought was particularly fitting because it was a nautical clock that sounds out the traditional bell chimes that mark the change of watch on board the ship. And I noticed right after the lunch, he very carefully packed it up because they're headed off almost immediately down to Florida to their retirement home that's all built, pools ready in the backyard. They're all set for that. But I did want to take a minute here for this audience just to tell you how much Keith has meant to us in the Sea Scout program. He and I have been working together for almost 10 years, and the strides that we've been able to make forward were truly due to his dedication to the program. And we all need to remember that Keith's role as the National Sea Scout Director is a collateral duty, and the portfolio of other duties he had, I don't know when he had time to sleep. But in addition to all that he did for Sea Scouts, he also represented the entire Boy Scouts of America to a number of safe boating organizations and other marine community groups like the Marine Manufacturers Association, the Coast Guard Auxiliary, the U.S. Power Squadron, the National Safe Boating Council, the National Association of Boating Law Administrators, and that's only half the list that I could memorize. So I just want you to know that he's served well, not only for Sea Scouts, but also for the whole Boy Scouts of America. And one thing you may notice is that Keith is wearing a Venturing Leadership Award, and that's because the Sea Scout Leadership Award was only presented for the second time this year. And so, Keith, I'd like you to join me up here just for a minute. I'm going to explain that anybody who earned a Venturing Leadership Award for their service in the Sea Scouting program is ineligible to receive a Sea Scout Leadership Award, obviously for the same purpose. But Keith, on occasion of his retirement and so on, I'm going to lend you mine, but not for keepsies. And thanks so much for your service. And now I'd like to invite Janice Downey to come forward, and we'll conduct the same change of watch ceremony for the National Sea Scout Director.
So just in case you wonder, Janice Downey, who has been...
Stand right here, Janice.
Janice, I've been feeding her with a fire hose the last couple of weeks or several, I don't know how long, it seems like forever. But Janice, April actually called me late one night. She texted me, she says, "Can you talk?" And it was like 9:30. Talk about me staying up late. Well, anyway, 9:30, April says, "Is there any way you could talk to me in a little bit? Can I call you in 15 minutes? And I said, "Sure," like I am. And so she called me and we talked and determined that the Sea Scouts had always been somewhere else. And I've carried the torch for a long time. And she said, "We want to bring you into the full family of program development." And I said, "We want to bring you over to the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the Venturers." And I said, "It sounds like a great idea. We're waiting for the visit." And so she said, Janice Downey will become the new director. We've selected her to be the director. I said, okay. After I was out of shock, I said, okay, well, let's talk tomorrow more in depth. And so I've spent the last several weeks with Janice, feeding her with a fire hose of all the things that I've been doing with the Sea Scout. We have one more meeting together, and then I'm disconnecting my phone. Just kidding. But I'm very proud. I think we've got a great person that knows how to get things done. She's been heading up the pilot program for Lion, and look what it's done. She's been helping coordinate the Family of Scouting program, and look what it's doing. And many other things, new merit badges over the last several years. So Janice, I'm proud to be turning the reins over to you. And I look forward to supporting you because I will be continuing with the Sea Scout program. I have this Southern Region patch right here next to my heart on the other side. And so anyway, I want to introduce you before we do the change of watch. But Janice, we're proud of you. We're looking forward to having a great year.
well, carry out your duties. Congratulations. Thank you, Janice. Did you want to say anything to the group?
Thank you very much. All I can say is these are huge shoes to fill. And I understand that, and I'm not even going to try and fill them. I'm just going to walk the same path, and I'm going to do the best that I can. I hear that be prepared and do your best are good mottos, so I will do that.
And before we adjourn, I'd like to ask Keith and Mercedes to join me at the podium for a small gift. So thanks to both of you for your service this past year, and for Keith for the Sea Scout portion is completed, and I want to make sure there were no venturing closing remarks. No venturing closing remarks, so the reception is concluded. Enjoy each other's company and have a soda in the back. Thank you very much for attending. That's for now.
There's one more photo.
We're all done? Yeah.